Welcome to the introduction to Facebook ads. This is going to be a 50-foot overview preparing you for a really long and detailed module on launching Facebook ads. I always think it's important to kind of set the scene and set the table so you can go into this prepared. And obviously, the best experience and the best teacher will always be experienced. So as you get reps and do this more often, the process becomes easy. So the strategy that I teach is launching a CBO campaign with 5 ad sets and 3 to 10 images per ad set. The images are considered native images because they look and appear as if they fit on the normal Facebook feed. And this is really important because more likely than not, your consumer doesn't like being sold to. So ads these days can feel very advertising. That's why UGC became very popular over the last few years because it's just everyday looking people recommending products. And then over time, that became very popular. Well, we want to find another and unique way to disguise the marketing that we use with native image ads. And that's with static images that look like they were posted organically on Facebook paired with some long form copy. This strategy works really well because long form copy taps into human psychology with storytelling, addressing pain points, deep desires, all while being well disguised. A CBO campaign or campaign budget optimization allows you to set a daily spend at the campaign level. We do not do ABO testing where you set individual spend at the ad set level. We do one CBO and keep all the data in that CBO campaign, setting the daily spend at the campaign level. This is important because we're starting off with a new ad account, new pixel, and Facebook has to learn and optimize to find your target audience using the copy and creatives you provided. Due to the internet privacy restrictions over the last 10 years, it doesn't make sense to select interest when launching campaigns. So you never, if you're marketing to people about weight loss, you'll never go into the ad set level and select specific interests because nowadays, Facebook's targeting platform works way better with actually leaving everything open and broad and creating really good copy and really good ads that speak to your target audience. That is now the new targeting. Facebook system's really smart, but not perfect. If we give it a variety of copy and images, it will find your target audience as long as your marketing overall is good. There's just one problem. There are a lot of people on Facebook and a lot of ads. So if given the time, you can tweak and optimize your marketing to eventually get a profitable campaign, but time equals money. So we can't just keep spending $100 a day for weeks without being profitable. With this in mind, the strategy I teach is designed to help you split test multiple angles under one CBO campaign and quickly find a marketing angle that is profitable and one that will allow you to scale. If you aren't already aware, all it takes is one marketing angle, one product, and one offer to get to 1K a day, 5K a day, 10K a day, even 20K a day and beyond. You can do a lot of volume and numbers with just one marketing angle. So a visual representation of how we actually set up the campaign is as such. So as you can see here, we'll have the CBO campaign. I always like to target one country, leave the targeting broad. No, I'm never going to set the touch the interest at all. We're actually going to create 5 different ad sets under that same CBO campaign. And using deep research, we're going to find the 5 most likely angles to convert with the product that we've selected. Up to this point, if you're getting ready to launch the Facebook ads, you should already have a proven product that was validated by me. I should help you validate that product, or if you're doing this on your own, that's fine as well. But we're going to find 5 separate angles that will allow us to speak to our target audience and try to find an uncompetitive angle that no one else is going after. So just to be very clear, there's this concept of, oh, that product is saturated or this product is saturated. Yes and no, products technically can be saturated, but more importantly, it's more about the angle. The marketing angle is what really is saturated, not the product itself. So for example, if I was selling protein supplements or protein powder, most of the angles that have been used up a lot right now are gym goers, right? So this might be one angle, gym goers. Another one might just be people that are looking to get into the gym. So there's experienced gym goers, maybe there's new gym goers. There might be the angle of older adults that are protein deficient, right? They're aging and they need more protein, so old people. There might be protein that's specifically for men, right? Maybe it's not just protein, and then there might be other vitamins that cater better to men, and then the vice versa of that, protein for women. So the idea here is that we're going to use deep research to help us identify sub-markets, audiences, or portfolios, however you want to call them. And we're going to basically run a 5 ad set split test. Reason why I don't do an ABO is an ABO, if you set the ABO or the ad set to $20 in an ABO campaign, it's going to spend that $20 and it won't compare it to any of these other ad sets. So ABOs, the ad sets are individual. They don't actually compete against one another. They just run and they'll spend the $20 whether it's profitable or not. CBO campaigns, you can just give it a certain amount of money and it's going to collect all this data, look at all your creatives, look at all your messaging, and it's going to help determine which one of the 5 is most likely to perform better. Now, Facebook isn't perfect, like I mentioned. So sometimes on day one, they'll allocate a lot of the spend, most of the spend to one of these, and sometimes it'll be profitable, other times it won't be. And it's not until we adjust a couple things and kind of push Facebook in the right direction that it might reallocate the budget to this ad set And on day 2 now, we're actually profitable. So there's a lot of different scenarios and different ways this can go out for you, depending on the product, your copy, and everything that you do. But more times than not, I find that it's best to do a CBO campaign with 5 different angles with the 5 most likely sub audiences of people that can, eventually buy your product. So in the example here, this neck massager, there could be stay-at-home moms, truck drivers, people that work at an office job, gamers. There's a lot of different audiences. And sometimes, right, the sub niches or the different ad sets don't have as much variation as I just mentioned, right? A stay-at-home mom and a truck driver, they're completely 2 different people, right? But sometimes through deep research, it might actually be very similar people. Like I gave the previous example, it might be 2 people that go to the gym, if we're talking about protein supplements, but this could be a newer gym goer and this could be an experienced gym goer. They're both people that go to the gym and they both could be men, right? Let's say they're both men in their mid to late 30s that are going to the gym, but maybe this person's going to the gym for the first time and this person's an experienced gym goer and I'm selling protein powder to them or a protein supplement. So doing deep research will help you realize, all right, one, how many unique ad sets or unique angles will I be able to generate? We always go 5. Sometimes through deep research, we'll do 4, but we should do a minimum of 3 and no more. In my honest opinion, you should do no more than 6 initially for the first time in a new CBO campaign. Now, down the line, we'll start launching new angles and different campaigns, but just to get you started, I feel like 5 is a perfect sweet spot to getting the ball running, especially if you can spend $100 a day. And one additional note as well, we will set a minimum daily spend of $10 per ad set. And I know that can seem like hey, why not just do an ABO? We only do that initially just so we can help push these ad sets and get them running off the ground, because with CBO campaigns, Facebook will at times allocate majority of the spend to one ad set. The other ad sets may not get any spend. And sometimes you could have good ad sets sitting there that Facebook hasn't prioritized yet. So just to make sure everyone gets a fair shot in the first couple of days, we'll give them $10 ad sets, minimum ad spend. And then eventually we'll cut the ones that aren't profitable, and we'll know really quickly within the first 3 days whether or not we're going to move forward with the product. So that's a 50-foot overview. Obviously, everything that I'm covering will be broken down in much more detail inside the following trainings. And also on every single course video, I have live action steps and a live transcript link below the training. So if you ever lost or just want a quick action step or a quick recap, you can always click the link down below. So it's important to note, my goal is for you to follow the path of least resistance and find a product plus a marketing angle that shows early signs of potential within the first 72 hours. This does not mean you'll be profitable in the first 3 days. In fact, it's actually common most times. The first day of testing, you won't even make a sale. It just means that it's clear that there's buying intent with the product and you have affordable CPMs, cost per milli, right? How expensive is it to actually advertise on Facebook? The lower the CPM metric is, the easier it is for your ad to come across as many people as possible. In theory, you can troubleshoot, optimize, and continue to pour money into any product and eventually make it profitable, but it requires a lot of experience and, even more importantly, a lot of money. So for that reason, I know a lot of you guys come to me balling on a budget. You don't have unlimited money. Some of you guys are students. Some of you guys are you're young. You don't have a ton of disposable income. Some of you guys are much older and you do have some disposable income, but you can't just blow through it all in 1 week on one product. So I try to ensure all my students, especially ones on a budget, stay away from super competitive niches. By now, you should have already found a product. If you're coming to me already with an existing product, you are someone that's been doing dropshipping for some time and you've seen some success with your product. Here's something that is the truth of the matter, right? If you're in one of these competitive niches here, which is linked in the product research section of the program, it's just naturally going to be harder to scale, and you're going to naturally see higher CPMs just because these are some of the most competitive niches. A lot of advertisers are advertising to the same people. So it's supply and demand. There's only so many people in the world, and there's only so many ads that those same people could see every single day. If you want to learn more about how the auction works, you can go on this document and click here. And it basically explains how Facebook's auction system actually works and how it determines how expensive it is to market and advertise on their platform. Something to be mindful of. You can always circle back and launch one of those niches, a supplement brand, a personal care brand, because we do know that those niches have the most LTV, long-term value, right? Long-term customer value. They are evergreen. They solve the deepest pain that will be around forever. But in the beginning, I want you to focus on less competitive products that still solve a problem. I don't want you trying to dropship LED lights and toys and women's clothing. I still want you solving a problem with your product, but they aren't so saturated. But keep in mind, when running ads, sometimes you can you can set up everything right. You can have the best marketing with the best copy, the best images. But due to the nature of the niche you selected, it becomes really hard to fight in those markets, especially with a brand new ad account in New Pixel. Like I mentioned, you can read up more on the auction system there. So final recap here, a winner in a lot of cases is easily identifiable within the first 72 hours of testing. So my goal for you is to help you find a product and test it with 5 opportunities to crack the market, right? So 5 angles launched in a CBO campaign. So I'll see you guys in the next training. We'll have to go through the different steps of launching ads and go into more details. So go on to that next training there.